Hey-ho there. I did pretty shitty at UFC 113. I only got Koscheck, Hendricks, and Belcher and Davis right. 4 out of 11. Want to talk about that Koscheck versus Daly fight. That was the weirdest fight ever because it felt like both guys were fighting to be the biggest heel in the company in that fight. First, you have Koscheck taking that questionable knee on the ground, and it kind of glances him and cuts him up here, but it was not, you know, a solid hit because it kind of ricocheted off of his head. But you know, Koscheck sold it like death, and I was thinking, oh please, Koscheck, doesn't mean this is the end of the fight. Don't try to get out like this. But I think all he really wanted was a point deduction that he never got for that. So then, okay, Koscheck's, you know, #1 heel right now, and then the rest of the fight, you know, was Paul Daly. He was cornering Koscheck, getting him like to right against the cage, and then all Koscheck had left though was, you know, the takedown. He'd get the takedown, and he worked that for a long time. And he was always improving his position, but he was never landing anything significant. So most of the fight was that. It was kind of boring. I really thought Koscheck would trade more to set up his takedowns, because some of his takedowns didn't work as good because he wasn't, you know, luring him in with striking. So then the fight comes, and Paul Daly gets a cheap shot after the bell. The ref, Margalagadi, comes in and pushes him up against the cage and, you know, separates the two. You thought that Daly was going to go congratulate Koscheck. You know, in the interviews, Daly was saying how all this drama is for show, and after the fight they'll be okay and stuff. But I don't believe that for a second. Then okay, so now Koscheck's kind of redeemed himself, and you're like, okay, Koscheck's a pretty good guy. Daly boo. But then Koscheck does this heel promo about how, you know, Canada's going to lose in a hockey game and stuff. And it's like, why? You could have, you know, had some grace here. That's all the main event, and congratulations to Shogun. That's amazing. I guess the Shogun era has begun now. It was a nice, I'm glad we got a definite ending to that fight, even though I was wrong on the pick. I also want to congratulate Joe Dorkinson. Wow. You know, I always like Lawlor. I think Lawlor's funny. But here's the thing about, you know, going out of your way to, you know, do Dan Severn or Ryan Howard or whoever when you're doing impressions and trying to be funny at the weigh-ins and stuff. That's all cheeky and fun. But when you get in a fight and you lose, that must be the worst feeling ever, because there you are, dressed as someone else, and you just lost. You know, there you are, your Dan Severn mustache being helped off the ground. Belcher. I love Belcher. I heard a thing about maybe Belcher would fight Anderson Silva if he could. He would go up to 205 to fight Anderson Silva. That's what I like about MMA. Right when you have it figured out, you know, and you get almost all your picks right on one card, this card comes along and just knocks me on my ass.
Yo. This goes out to my boy Noyjeetut. Check him out since they're sitting on your butt. You might be able to hear those barking dogs. He thanks you for watching all his vlogs. If you're still not familiar with Noyjeetut, pay attention and shut the fuck up.
Alright, I haven't talked about Lost in a while, but let me just say this last episode was really good. After they took away my original Locke, the original incarnation of Locke as a real person, and made him, you know, the definition of evil, I was kind of lost on who I would use as the character that I would be behind 100%. And I think they've done a really good job of cultivating Jack into the new Locke. He's doing everything right. 3 candidates left. Hugo, Sawyer, Jack. Wow. I love how on the spoilers for the next episode they don't show any new clips, because they don't want to give anything away. So I have this firm belief that they're going to be trying to solve all of our questions. So that's great. That's my hat's off to them for trying to do everything and do it right. And after that episode, I really think we're working towards a big payoff. So yeah, I'm going to keep on watching, of course. I've been in it for 6 years. I read an article this week that said Pepsi's is going to be high fructose corn syrup free in the near future. That's really big. You know, they did these studies, and a lot of people say the studies were skewed to, you know, make high fructose corn syrup look worse than sugar. But that's not really the thing that gets me about it. It's just that sugar tastes so much better. When they were doing those throwback formulas of their product, it was like night and day. It just had so much more pep to it. It just was vibrant. The taste was just clear. With the other stuff, it seems dulled down. I don't know. Maybe that's just me talking, but it's really cool that they're going back to sugar. Hopefully a lot of people are saying like Coke, and some other people will just follow suit. I guess after Coke, what is there? RC? Maybe RC Cola will follow suit.
I love RC.
But yeah, at work this week, I had this person write me one of the sweetest, greatest letters I ever gotten about, you know, how well I do my job, and it just really touched my heart. You know, with everything negative you get into work, everyone deserves at least one letter which outlines everything you've done right in your last, I don't know, career there at that place. And it uplifts you, and it's hard for me to read some of the stuff because, you know, sometimes when people confront you with stuff where they're telling you something good about yourself, you will almost feel ashamed to read it because you're thinking in the back of your mind, you know, I don't do this, right? I don't do this. You know, it makes you examine yourself and find the faults. And that's amazing. You know, if you want someone to work better, write something really nice about them. Make it hard to read, you know. Well, if they're good people, they'll find the faults in themselves and even improve better. If they're bad people, they'll take that extra yard and run with it. If anyone else is as lucky they ever get a note or a letter that's sent to the boss and then they find out about it later, I hope you do in your lifetime. It's just one of the greatest things that'll ever happen to you. It's one of those things where someone else who you're not directly linked with is able to recognize the effort you put into your day-to-day life, and that's always welcomed. I have not been watching much of my subscribers' YouTube videos lately. I'm going to tell you why. I go to YouTube. I'm not kidding here. It goes to recent activity on the main page. It may be like them pushing everyone to try to use Google Chrome. I may try that. Went to my settings. I changed it off. I never had recent activity even pegged as something I wanted to see. I had subscriptions on my homepage. I had recommended for you. I had the inside at the bottom. But this is just crazy. And I'm getting tired of it because I miss a lot of you guys' videos this way, and it sucks. It just really sucks. I hope no one else is suffering this because it's a pain in the ass. Hopefully it goes away on its own. It works fine in IE, Internet Explorer, but I mean, who wants to surf the web on IE? No one. That's who. Alright, so for the last few days I've been trying to get these videos approved for revenue sharing for my, you know, retro game collection, where I show the collection game and I play a little bit of it and stuff like that. And YouTube always comes, usually, sometimes they accept them, sometimes they come back with, we need you to get the permission of the author of whatever product. And I don't know. I'm still going to do them. Don't fret. I still got some I haven't posted yet. I'm still going to do them. It's just I'm not going to try to get revenue sharing on them anymore because it's just crazy. And I wrote these guys a note in here. I put it in here. I'm going to read that note to you now. How do I go about requiring the rights on games that are more than 20 years old? How do AVGN and Irate Gamer get ads on their videos when they do retro reviews? Do they contact companies that have long since disbanded and ask them if it's okay if they use their dead concept in a video that helps people remember what once was? I don't get it. I guess I'll stop applying these gaming videos for ads since there's way too much red tape on them. Plus, I'm not a big enough name to have the rules bent for yet. Then I do my patented, you know, colonize and tongue out P. Yeah, you know, got to go out soft. Got to be hard throughout, but you go out soft, damn it. I also recently read that Kimbo Slice and Paul Daly have both been cut from the UFC. Well, Kimbo was more up in the air, but Dana said it's probably going to happen. He's probably going to be cut off. And I thought that was kind of a big mistake, because Kimbo Slice is someone they've been promoting throughout UFC 113, just giving him a lot of airplay. And I think it's just wiser, even if they can't market him or use him in any capacity, just keep him under contract. You know? Put him out on there with a free little rinky-dinky fight with a new guy that may want to be, you know, may think he's UFC caliber, and if he gets by Kimbo, he gets another shot, you know, and some free cards. That's what I do with Kimbo. If you let Kimbo go, you just let him go to some other promotion who'll use him as another marketing tool. And say, hey, this guy once was in the UFC. He fought in the UFC. He actually got a win against Houston Alexander in the UFC. Watch him get beat by our guys. That fight was kind of hard to watch because Matrione couldn't finish by sub, but he was able to get those leg kicks. Sneaky, sneaky Matrione. But yeah, Daly, not so much sad about. You can't punch a guy after the bell. That's just childish, and that really exposed him as someone who was really caught up in all of this Koscheck drama. He really hates Koscheck, and he let it get to him. He let it get to him, you know. So he deserves everything he gets with that. Bye-bye, Paul Daly. Have fun, you know, losing to any decent wrestlers like Koscheck or Jake Shields. Otherwise, you're going to flourish, pal. But, you know, stay away from the wrestlers, because they own you. They put you on the ground. They slowly crawl up you. And they take your innocence. They take your innocence. Alright, I'm out of this joint. Have a great Mother's Day, people. You know, talk to your mothers. Say, hey, mama, how you doing? Or take them out. Tomorrow, the big post. 2 years on YouTube since I've started making videos. I like making that sound. I'm going to do a huge best of vlogs. It's going to be the best of my vlogs. It's a masterpiece. I'm not going to lie to you. It's 16 minutes of awesomeness. It's just beautiful, and you're going to enjoy it. You are. Alright, I'll see you later, my I need a name. Alright, here we go. Goodbye, my cheating Paul Dailies. Ow!